Hello Flight Simmers, Weeper here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Basically we're going to be looking at some comments that happened a couple weeks ago where I was basically trolling the troller. This is something I normally don't do. Most of the time when I get hateful comments I just delete them. I have better things to do with my day, but this person has made comments in the past, so I decided to kind of go with it, and needless to say he made a total ass of himself. I haven't checked that comment thread in a couple weeks since I kind of was done with them, and it looks like it's still going on. But either way, we're going to have a look at my interaction with him, and well, I mean, he deserves to be made out as an ass by just the way his comments are, so we're going to kind of go with that. This is not really kind of what I do with the videos. This is a pretty dirty setup I got going on here, but it's the best thing I come up with right now. So either way, it all started off with a short that I basically posted up. I've been doing a lot of shorts lately. I can't do full flight videos because I'm flying mostly 438 right now, so I'm a little bit under what I can show. Either way, this is the short I put up. It's basically just a scene of me taking off in augmented reality. Amazing DMX graphics we got going on, along with some cool tunes, and basically the title, What a Time to Be Alive. So that played for, I think it was on for a day or two, and my normal comments were coming through until one comment came out by a username by Okogono, or Okagana. Ghana, I don't know what the hell it is, but either way, normally I wouldn't want to make fun of somebody on the internet, but this little keyboard warrior is pretty good at keeping his identity concealed, so I don't need to worry about signaling. Don't need to worry about signaling him out. Signaling him out. Anyways, because he's been on YouTube for, I think when I looked at his profile, it was something like 7 or 8 years without any video, so it's probably just a trolling account that he has. But either way, he comments with, "What a time to be alive while you pretend to do something people actually do." So that's a pretty hateful comment. It's the typical comments I see from that user. But again, I don't think he understands the whole title of What a Time to Be Alive. That is actually the point, right? There's tons of people out there like me who inspire or dream to be a fighter pilot, something that I'm okay to acknowledge that I would have never had a chance to be. It really doesn't bother me. So with today's technology and hobbies like I have, well, exactly, what a time to be alive, because I can have the next best thing. So I commented with, "Sounds like someone is jealous." You know, it's about the best, sorry about that, about the best thing that I can do for that. Sorry, where was it here? Okay, and then of course he writes back, "Oh, you're totally right. Me," in brackets, a naval aviator who flies Growlers, he uses Growlers, "is jealous of a middle-aged man pretending to be a pilot in his basement. I mean, look at you, even got a cute little pretend flight suit with pretend patches." Well, I'm wearing the flight suit and patches today just to kind of annoy him a little bit more. But I find it kind of funny, right? So he identifies himself as a Growler pilot. You know, I'm surprised a guy like him didn't just go all out and call himself a Tomcat pilot or something, but he went with Growlers. But right away, that comment is complete nonsense. There's no way in hell do I believe an actual person who did everything he had to do, such high competition, to be a naval aviator, and then he just feels like better things to do with his time than go on hobbyists like mine and troll their accounts. So yeah, there's no way I believe that. So I of course responded, "If you expect me to believe you're a Growler pilot commenting like that, yeah, right, pal. Talk about showing who the loser really is." And then I commented again, "You are a total professional, all right, which is why no one would expect a real professional, aka Growler pilot, more like a failure who end up doing something else would take the time to just make trash comments about a guy who enjoys his hobby. But little do you know, this middle-aged man fought his war and served his country. Have you? And I wear a flight suit and patches that were awarded to me by the Chief of the Hellenic Air Force, and got a personal invite and tour of one of their air bases in Greece. So yeah, I enjoy my hobby and have zero shame. So keep making your childish comments to mask your jealousy. Keep at it, young man. You'll achieve your dreams someday. So of course I'm just throwing some harsh bullshit back at him. But again, I have no shame in wearing a flight suit. I do it for comfort when I'm sitting in the cockpit. These patches were given to me by the Hellenic Air Force Chief, so I wear them with pride. And then again, yeah, as most of you that follow me know, that I got a personal invite to go tour the base. So yeah, it's a big hobby of mine and something I have no shame of whatsoever. And then I guess I continued on. Your comments absolutely show your age and maturity. There isn't a single person who reads these comments is ever going to believe you're a professional. You are so full of it that you don't even understand and acknowledge that your profession does and would only produce professionals. Man, you are unbelievably full of it. You are just a child that saw my video and is just jealous of what I have and how I enjoy my hobby. And I don't need to prove myself. Not that I need your views, but if you actually watch my videos, you will learn I'm no stolen valor, as you are certainly claiming to be there, aka Growler Pilot. So enjoy the little walk on your so-called boat. I must have missed a comment somewhere. That's funny. You know, I think he deleted a comment, because looking at my response, I'm responding to a comment that I remember when I told him that I had to tour the airbase. He had mentioned that he walks on his naval ship every day. So I'm thinking he may have deleted the comments. That's kind of funny. Yeah, there's something missing there. Either way, I should have done this sooner. But he writes, bad news, it's a common phrase in the Navy. Once again, you wouldn't know it though, because your knowledge on the matter is just surface level. No one thinks a Call of Duty player knows about being special operations. Obviously, I don't expect someone who pretends to be a pilot to know about real aviation jargon. Yeah, so, yeah, there's definitely comments missing, because I kind of left this for 2 weeks. And yeah. So anyways, yeah, I think he deleted some comments. Why, I don't know, because he left the one about him being a Growler pilot. But either way, he had made some comments about, I think if it's the one I recall, he mentioned guys like him laugh at guys like me while they're in the ready room, and I kind of thought that was a pretty stupid comment that any real aviator would make. It's kind of like me as a police officer saying, guys like us make fun of security guards in our parade room. Like, I don't know why he felt the need to drop ready room. That's just another indicator that a guy that's stolen valor, because I don't think real pilots would say stuff like that. They would just say, hey, guys like us, we laugh at you, instead of making sure he threw it in the ready room kind of thing, you know? Anyway, so trying not to lose too much context here, but yeah, so he talks about jargon. Then I wrote, oh, I know the term, my friend. As I am retired military, I don't use stupid terms like that to try and convince people of my stolen valor. You have exposed yourself. I know a lot of real Viper drivers, and none of them talk like that, which is true. I know just gamers, to be honest. I don't even use those cliche terms. What else you got there, Maverick? And I'm just kind of bugging him a little bit. Do you get a tally while you were checking your 6? Better stay above the hard deck there, sailor. Yeah, so I'm just throwing terms like he did. And then, of course, I went on a little bit more. Hey, Maverick, have you ever buzzed a tower? Or did you crash and burn, Mav? Just using stupid cliche Terms from Top Gun. All kidding aside, though, since you are Stolen Valor, send me a tour video. I'm sure you must have one. I certainly do. Let's compare. So this is kind of where I decided to really throw it in his face, you know. If you are a Growler Pilot, there's chances are he may be an immature guy and just feels like trolling people. So why don't you put your money where your mouth is? So, you know, basically I asked him for a tour video. That's what we call it where I'm from in Canada. When we go on deployments. I did that again. All right, bear with me here. Let's go through this. Not doing a good job at this. I gotta stay off that video. Tour, okay, yeah. So tour video, okay. And then he wrote, I'm sure actual naval aviation terms must seem crazy to you. Your little pretend airplane doesn't have opposition listening to comms. So again, just more dumb comments that he's trying so hard to convince us all that he's a real Growler pilot. First of all, that cockpit behind me is a real F-16 FAM trainer from the 80s, all built with real parts inside. So calling it my little pretend airplane is just as good or even better than a lot of the actual simulators that real aviators and fighter pilots are using. So yeah, again, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But this is where it gets good. Here he goes, a tour video. A tour video? You mean a cruise video? Yeah, my squadron has those. They're all available here on YouTube. So exactly what does that prove? So, I mean, it just shows how ridiculous this comment. What does it prove? Well, if you show me a, what do they call it? A cruise video where you can identify yourself, such as match it up to a profile that matches up to your face, and that would shut me down pretty quick and say, oh, this guy is a real fighter pilot. He's just an asshole. Okay, but of course that's not going to happen, and he of course tries to kind of brush it under the carpet and tries to redirect it by saying, oh, they're all over the YouTube. Of course they are. That's why I asked for them. All right, and then I went, no, I challenge you, produce a tour video. I'm calling you out in your stolen valor. Prove me wrong there, Maverick. Certainly when you are in your ready room, you and your crew have made a video or two, which is true. They're all over. I have tons of them. I enjoy watching them. They're fantastic. So they should be really easy for him to produce. I'm sure if he was a real pilot, somewhere in his training or somewhere on his tour or cruise, whatever they call it, he's got a video of himself doing something, you know. And then I wrote, it would prove that you are actually a pilot and have served. But a tour video where I come from is actual combat, not just a cruise. But hey, since you sound like a child anyway, I'm sure you haven't seen your elephant yet. Do you even understand the term, having no combat experience? I'll bet you doesn't know what that term means. But in your case, at this point, I would be satisfied that you are at least a Growler pilot. But sorry, my friend, there are a million of those on YouTube. You will have to do more than just post a video. It will have to be matched up to your face. You know, what I look like, as it is all over my channel, and I can produce my tour video of actual time in Afghanistan that matches up to my face. But your case, yeah, at the very least, show me your cruise video. And then, is reading difficult? I already told you our cruise video is available online. Bad news, nobody in the Navy knows what the fuck a tour video is. So again, continually trying to redirect, okay? His video's online. Oh, then send it to me and find a way to prove it's you. Send me an email with a photo of you. Match it up. I mean, really, if he really wanted to kind of fake it, and I'm going to guess he probably is a Navy guy, but no way in hell he's a pilot. He could have found some guy he knows, match up a photo. There's lots of things he could really do, but I'm just trying to do this. But again, he's trying to redirect it with name calling and trying to make it sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, and concentrate on the fact in Canada we call it a tour video, because when I go on tour I'm deployed, and I guess for Navy guys they call it a cruise because they go on a cruise. Haha, so now you back out. Can you read? I can find 100 cruise videos right now. How on earth would that prove to me that you are one of the pilots without and proof of your actual photo. Looks like you got called out there, Maverick. So happy everyone gets to read all of this and enjoy the laugh as I have. Just for shits and giggles, since you won't produce, I will make mine. I guess I wrote mine public. I was typing on my phone near the end of a night shift there, so my patrol cars. So yeah, I don't really worry about autocorrect, but I guess I meant to write, I will make mine public, just in case you want to look through my channel and see that I actually was in Afghanistan and was special ops. There, I just made it public. It will be easy to find if you click on my channel. So let's go, Maverick. You stole the Valor. Let's see you prove it. Okay, and then of course he writes, so you asked for a video that's available on YouTube and get upset because I tell you it's available on YouTube. Again, redirecting has nothing to do with that. He just doesn't want to answer the actual question where I'm telling him, prove me that you are in the video. You can't just send me a video to some random link in the naval aviation video, I mean there's tons of them, and say, yep, that's me, I'm in the third plane flying in the cruise. Doesn't work that way. But anyway, so bad news, I'm not the squadron PR or MC specialist and have no say what's on the cruise video. I'm sure if you were special operations, there wouldn't be any difficult for you to be a real pilot. So what makes you pretend instead of get your up chit and really fly? It's probably because you're incompetent, right? I don't even know what the hell he's talking about there. Like, he's obviously trying to insult me, but it's not making much sense what he's saying. Difficulty. Try this again. I'm sure if you were special operations, there wouldn't be any difficult for you to be a real oh, I see what he's saying. Yeah, no, absolutely there would be, because I can't do math for shit. And in Canada, back in the 80s, when I was kind of primed to try to be a fighter pilot, you had to go through RMC. My marks weren't high enough. So yeah, it's pretty simple. That's why I fought on the ground instead of in the air. Again, nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah, I understand that's what he's saying. But again, now basically what he's trying to do now is he's trying to switch the narrative that he doesn't have a video. First, he had a whole bunch of videos on YouTube, or at least he had a video on YouTube. Now he's switching it to, well, he wouldn't be in the video because he's not the squadron PR or MC specialist. I don't know, public relations, MC, I don't know what that is. If you know, leave a comment. Navy people know what the hell that means, but I would imagine it means somebody in charge of the camera, which is kind of horse shit, really, because you look at any videos on Instagram or whatnot, pilots are putting GoPros, they're holding up their cell phones, etc., etc. And I tell you, every pilot out there has them, and it's just they're being OPSEC that they don't put them on certain ones on the internet, etc. But for me to believe he doesn't have any single video, not even a photo of him sitting in the cockpit, there's no way I believe that. Okay? And then again, is reading really that difficult? Well, is understanding that difficult for you? Ah, dude, you are such stolen valor. I normally delete trolls like yourself, although I do believe I am the troll now. This is true. But I am going to leave it so everyone can read your nonsense. This is gold. Trash talks me, calls me out as a Call of Duty Army wannabe when I actually am retired military and special ops, and proved by a video of myself in theater on my own channel, and you claim because you are not the squadron MC, blah, 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 blah. All real pilots, of course, all pilots of a cruise or tour videos, they are all over the YouTube and posted on their own channels, yours of which has 0 videos. You are just a troll. No doubt you walk the flight line on a carrier, but you, sir, certainly are not a pilot. Your maturity says it all, but the fact you can't even produce a cruise video is laughable. So again, for some reason, he deleted earlier comments. I can't remember them all. I actually have them screen captured on my phone, but I'm too lazy to kind of put those as part of this video. But basically, he had made mention that he walks the flight line every day, and then he threw in some weird, cheesy brevity terms to kind of make me think he's more of a pilot, I guess. I don't know. And then I wrote, he is now on the insults. So we're back on the insults. That's what happens when you start losing. Now on to the insults. Unfortunately for you, a career in the Army and now a police officer for 18 years gives me the very thick skin. So keep them coming. Yeah, exactly. There's no doubt about that. As, what am I, a Gen X boomer? No, I guess I'm a Gen X. Again, he called me a middle-aged man. I am 53. But yeah, the things I've done in my life, nothing's going to offend me. So people of my generation have pretty thick skin. Not to mention my job, 18 years working in the gang areas of our city. I get called names all the time, so his little insults aren't going to do anything. But then he wrote in quotes, "All real pilots. It's insane to make claims from outside the house to someone who lives in the house. How about this? Go talk to all your friends who supposedly know, who have went through Navy flight training. Ask them a question that can't be Googled, and then ask me, I'll answer it. Go ahead, I'll wait." Oh, okay. So then he reverses it. You know what? I don't know any Navy guys, honestly, and I just, again, I'm not letting him off the hook. You simply have, at the very least, a photo probably on your graduation of your whatever the equivalent of a QL3 or QL5 is in flight training, meaning you're now operational flying F-18s. I'm sure you have a grad photo, a very simple photo, and if he was a real pilot, I guarantee he has that photo up on his Instagram somewhere. He could easily produce that, but obviously he's full of shit. So again, looks like he's trying to go on to me finding some Navy guy. Hey, ask me a question that I can ask this guy. Not going to happen. Clearly not here. You are crying over someone. Again, crying over someone making fun of your little pretend fun time. So crying is certainly what I would not describe it. I'm simply calling him out on his bullshit. Again, he's continuously redirecting. I'm pretty transparent, so I have no issue answering this question, as I have on this channel. I'm not a pilot because I am horrible at math and didn't have high enough marks in school. Nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing I am embarrassed at all. Instead, I chose to serve my country in other ways, and at my age have ended up with a good, wealthy life and put my competence to building a $120,000 simulator made with real parts and over 3,000 feet of wiring and completing a full high-fidelity F-16 simulator that you are jealous of, which brought us into this wonderful conversation. So sure, you could say I was incompetent, if that makes you feel like a big man. In the end, I have a pretty proud life and plenty of medals to prove it. So incompetent maybe in math, incompetent maybe in obtaining high school marks, but I wouldn't say I'm incompetent in other stuff. Being transparent is knowing that being special operations is just as difficult to get into and requires just as much as being a pilot does and requires significantly higher level of training. That doesn't add up. So it's kind of like he's starting to doubt me now, basically. And he's right. He's right. Special operations are a higher level of people. I had to do a lot to get to where I was, where I did my training in Blackwater and stuff. I had to compete out of like 75 people, I think, and I was one of, I think there was 8 of us that went. So I was somewhere in the top, in the top 8. So yeah, I'll give him that. But again, it sounds like he's trying to redirect and now doubt mine, even though I showed him a video. I'm crying. Is that what you think I'm doing? No, I'm trolling you and calling you out. Everyone reading this is seeing the truth. I'm serious, Maverick. Let's see a video. So I'm trying to bring it back on him now. I proved myself. Now you prove yours. I do know lots of Viper drivers. They are mentioned and photos with them all over this channel. They all have videos, photos, etc. No way you will convince anyone reading here that you don't have any or have any control over it, especially if you are USN. I don't think you guys understand OPSEC at all. It's all over YouTube. So I'll just make a little joke about, he's trying to make it sound like it's so OPSEC that he can't reveal a photo or video or a cruise video. Yeah, they're all over YouTube and Instagram channels. So, There's obviously certain criteria to what you can and can't show. Just like the same as when I was on the Hellenic Air Force Base. I could show pictures of me in their squadron headquarters, even got permission to show pictures of me sitting on the aircraft, but I was advised not to post any of the videos on the flight line that I took or any other photos on the internet. So there's guidelines, but obviously a guy like him could have something to prove his point. Okay, and then he responds with, every video you see is approved through the COC and usually filmed by what is the squadron's public relations or mass communications. That'd be what MC is, mass communication specialist. Hence why they aren't OPSEC. I am none of those. My crew's videos are on YouTube like the rest. That's how I access them. I filmed my own clips in the aircraft and posted them online. That would be an OPSEC violation. Complete bullshit, because they're all over the place. So, I guess you can Google it, but there's no doubt in my mind he probably is in the Navy. His lingo is good. Some of his policies are good. But again, there's no way he's an actual pilot. But again, I'm going to call him out on that bullshit, because there's a lot of videos that I've seen where they actually have their name and call sign right there, or maybe just their call sign, but there's photos of them. So again, there's no way I'm believing that. What the hell are you even talking about? My videos proves it all. You are right, though. Special ops is like pilots, which is where I dared to call you a professional, and you laughed at that and didn't have a clue what I was talking about, which was your first exposure. Yeah, that goes back to one of the posts that he deleted, where I don't think he understood the term when I said you're not being very professional, and it's about his attitude and behavior towards people, because being in any, we'll say even the US Navy, or even being a Growler pilot, you are always going to represent that community, just like I have with the Army, just like I have with police, even on my days off. And I've been disciplined for some of my conduct. We always represent the service and our employer, etc. So yeah, I don't think a real pilot would be that unprofessional to, what can I do with my day? I don't know. Let's find some inspiring people who can only dream of doing what I was so lucky to achieve, and let's trash talk them. So I doubt that. Anyways, going on. Yeah, you were right, though. I think I read that. A real professional, especially while active, wouldn't be trolling people on the internet, especially people who inspire and dream of being pilots. It's like me calling out airsoft guys or people who inspire to be police officers, since I'm an active LEO now. We professionals don't do that. So on that note, based off your very first comment, which was in Provoked, I guess I want to write unprovoked, and didn't even get the meaning, what a time to be alive, decided to just make some asshole comment rather than just laughing in your restroom, I guess I should be ready room, and moving on. So now that you have, and everyone is reading these comments, let's see your proof. So again, calling them out, absolutely not. There are lots of them, and done by pilots with GoPros, and all can be and have to be approved. It's all over YouTube. Man, be careful what you post. The proof is in the pudding. You really are not good at this at all. This is so much fun. Exactly. He made a comment. It's so easy to call him out, to kind of show his proof of his stolen valor, the Growler Pilot. And yet he keeps trying to redirect it, that it has to do with policies and MCs and PR officers, why he somehow doesn't have a video of himself. You're going to sit there and try to act, this is him now, if you're going to sit there and try to act as if being in the military, every action is professional, then you absolutely haven't served. Again, I posted a video, I definitely served, but he's still trying to redirect it that I'm the stolen valor. You're absolutely right. I do make fun of people who dream of being pilots, because playing video games isn't the way to do it. I make fun of people who play airsoft thinking it'll make them some tactical Navy SEAL as well. Like I said, go get one of your buddies who apparently knows. So again, he wants me to find some buddy who I don't have to use some naval jargon that anybody would know, from what do they call them, able seaman or something like that, all the way to an actual pilot. So again, though, this is pretty pathetic. because if I was a real pilot, I would be pretty offended that this dipshit is trying to represent all pilots by saying what they love to do is what's the word that he used again? Make fun of people like me who dream of being pilots. So yeah, that really calls into his age and maturity right there. But again, he's wrong. When I was chatting with the pilots of 347th in Greece, one of them told me he plays BMS, flies BMS. He uses it as a way to practice. The avionics are all realistic. And again, it's just a dumb comment to make. And that really shows his maturity and his age, you know. And then again, he writes, I understand that since you have no idea how a squadron works, it may be confusing. The public relations officer, so I guess he's going on about how he doesn't have this video of him. The public relations officer, PRO, job is collateral duty. The squadron pro is usually also a pilot. On top of that, the pro or MC, who isn't a pilot, provide cameras to pilots to film or ask the pilot for film to make the cruise video. It's all done in a command authorized manner, even if it isn't specifically a pro and just someone posting videos of their own accord and using PED. It's still required by U.S. Navy to get video authorized by commanding officer. Again, redirecting with a bunch of policy nonsense, but there's no way that I believe an actual pilot that went through training, whatever the trainers are called, to got onto the Growler, to did all this and then flying off doing catapult training, there's no way he doesn't have one single photo. Even show me a photo of him in flight gear standing by a Growler on a deck. Guaranteed tons of naval aviators have them. That would shut me down right there. I'm giving him such an opportunity, a very quick and easy opportunity to shut me down and make a fool out of myself, and he can't even do that. And then I wrote, I don't need to. As I said, the proof is in your pudding. Full exposure right here and for all to read. You still act as if I'm not legit after making my video public, and I just checked the analytics, and he did view it, but sadly your last comment has really demonstrated your true colors. So you just sit there and laugh at everyone who with hobbies and aspirations to dream and do things that makes them happy. What a little sad man you are. I really dare you to show proof of your service so I can expose you to your wing commander. You know, I probably would do that, to be honest. You should know that even on your own time, you always represent your wing. So again, what I talked about being a professional, right? We're always representing the flag we serve under, the unit we serve with, etc., etc. Did the analytics also tell you that I never actually watched it? No, because you did. Again, he's probably a Gen Z, so he probably watched 3 seconds of it, but 3 seconds would be enough for him to be verified that that is me in the video. I'm not really interested in your airsoft clips. Again, he watches it and he somehow calls my tour in Afghanistan me and my friends playing airsoft. I don't play airsoft. It's okay, pal. You can cope and seethe all you want, and you can cry to whoever you'd like. In reality, there isn't any repercussions for making fun of old men online. Well, he's absolutely right there. Making fun of old men online. Old man. Well, I'm 53. He's probably 18, so I guess I would be old to him. I'm very glad you're a fan, though, pal. I'm really glad you bought a little costume to look like me. That's actually that's pretty funny. Now I comment, can you try all that regurgitated nonsense all you want? You could try all that regurgitated nonsense all you want. It's evident you cannot produce a cruise video, not even one in during a theater of conflict. Not that anyone here believes you after all reading all this. But what I know, every pilot has a photo of them with their aircraft. So again, try to speed this video up again. I basically saying, dude, you got to have a photo. It's very simple. There's no way you do not have a photo, or no way that you even authorize. I was a foreigner in Greece, a non-pilot, and I have photos of me sitting on an F-16, where not very many people get to do, and I have permission to post it. So if you're an actual pilot, graduation photo, again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse here, but he could at least produce that, and he didn't do it. So, and then they are all over, basically making comments that they're all over Facebook, and then I'm just stop, dude. You're making a total ass of yourself. You made a trolling comment and got trolled back by a grizzled, middle-aged Gen X guy that you will never insult. Well, thank you. That is flattering, actually. And we are back to waiting for your proof. And yes, they did tell me. Again, he's deleted. He was selective in comments he deleted. And I'm not sure why. It must have been something in there that he probably didn't like, because some of my replies seem like a little out of context. But it's because he's been removing some of his, I guess. Not all of it, but that's okay. Gen Zs can't focus on... Oh, yeah, this is where I told them, no, you watch the video. I can't tell how long you watch it. You clicked on it at least. But again, I made a comment that he probably didn't watch the whole thing, but it'd be enough. I'm not stolen valor like you, but seriously, let's see it, dude. We're all waiting. So again, asking for more video. Title 18, Section 795 of the United States Code prohibits making photographs. Again, I don't need to hear this bullcrap. You're throwing out this policy, or Title 18, Section 795. I'm sure you Googled it. Okay, yet the proof is in the pudding right there. It's all over YouTube, all sorts of videos. So don't try to tell me. We've all seen them, and we love them. We like them. They make our days go great. The videos are there. Quit trying to make it sound like it's impossible for you to have a video. Everyone here, okay, yeah, and then he makes a comment about everyone here laughing my ass off. I guess what it is. Yeah, laughing my ass off. Yes, your so popular video that went viral has everyone in the world in the comment section. Yeah, well, he's making a comment. Yeah, making a comment about my pathetic little YouTube channel. No problem there. It doesn't bother me. I have a real job, I guess. There you go again. You've commented on your own video more than anyone else. Well, no, I'm commenting against you. You're actually the reason why this video is actually so popular, to be honest, because you keep making it active by engaging with it. So there you go again. You've commented on your own video more than anyone else, your fans, but I'm sure if they existed, they'd be able to read and realize that everything I said is legally correct and everything you said has been incompetence. Sadly, like all your pilot friends, your fans are not real. Well, again, if you watch my channel, I do have some friends in the Greek Air Force and people that I've had dinner with, etc., and hung out on the range, on the airbase with the commander of the 347. So yeah, my so-called friends do exist. And then I wrote, congratulations, you can Google search, and there is another so-called excuse. Taking a photograph in your aircraft is literally what every grad has. Again, so I go on about the photos, and then about how it's ridiculous for him to try to convince anyone watching this that he doesn't have video or photographic proof that he is a Growler pilot. Hell, show me your pilot with your call sign. Show me your helmet with your call sign. I mean, that doesn't prove anything, but hell, at this point, I'll even take that, but he couldn't even do that. And then I made a comment about him 7 years on YouTube with no subscribers or videos. So again, it's probably just a trolling account. So I basically said, now it's time to produce your first video. Show me. And I wrote, make a short little video of yourself for everyone to see. And at the very least, you standing in front of a Growler, and spare my nonsense. There is nothing OPSEC about that. Now be a big man and prove me wrong. We're waiting. Don't get me wrong. I don't claim to be anything special. I decided to... again, yeah, there's more comments gone here. Yeah. Again, yeah, he deleted quite a few comments. But this is where I pretty much summed it up. And don't get me wrong, I don't claim to be anything special. I decided to monetize my channel about 4 years ago and haven't made a penny yet, which is true. Haven't made a single penny. So again, I don't know how these people do it. I find it's just easier to have a job than to make videos and beg people to watch them. But I'm sharing these with my followers on other accounts. So yeah, we is we. So again, you kept saying who's we. Well, I was sharing this on Instagram, etc., and receiving lots of comments in my inbox, and people tell me to to ignore him or how much of an ass, or even some of my real pilot friends saying there's no way that guy's a real pilot the way he's acting. And I concur, you know. I might be starting to like you now, but we can't continue this friendship until I see your proof. Until then, just another stolen valor story. Either way, I'm off to bed after a long night shift. I look forward to seeing your proof when I wake in a few hours. Time to start subscribing to AI apps so you can draft up a cool Maverick photo in your Growler. So yeah, basically I left it at there and actually kind of forgot about it. And then when I pull this up, I see other people are engaging with him. Of course, no, I can honestly say Thorntail71, I have no idea who that is. Certainly not a friend of mine who I asked to kind of get into the conversation. It's somebody who pretty much read his nonsense, and then looks like they went at it. And touch the sound. Anyways, I suck at this. Yeah, so, yeah. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. Other people got involved. I'm kind of done with it. Again, he shot out something as simple as saying he's a Growler pilot, and he laughs at guys like me, yet he can't produce a single video. Anyways, I thought I'd just do a little video just to kind of have more fun with it, you know, trolling the troll a little bit more. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think this guy is in the Navy? I actually think he probably is in the Navy. Sure, you can Google the stuff, but I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of naval personnel out there, especially in the United States, so I'm sure he is one. He's probably a guy himself that inspires to be a pilot since he felt the need to come across channels like mine. And again, the only way I can describe, got a little jealous, made a stupid comment, and I decided to troll the troller. Catch you on the next one.